about to look at somebody really step in it. And here's the thing: I don't blame the actor for being, let's call it ridiculous and making, let's call this error. I really like this clip, guys, because it's uniting the entire Star Wars fan base into just like shaming this man for making, let's just say, a basic error, a basic lore error. Like, this is what happens when you stop caring about your lore, when you stop caring about your fans. This is hilarious to me. Well, we'll get into that. But first of all, how are you guys doing? Doing good? All right. Let's watch the video. We might skip around or skip ahead just to see where the thing is, but let's watch it.
Charlie, you're getting my first questions. I'm following up on something you told my colleague at Star Wars Celebration. You said that one of the most exciting things about working on this project was that through the language and the development of these characters, you realize that bad and good is in the eyes of the beholder.
I'm in trouble for this.
Characters, you realize that bad and exciting thing.
Look at her grab his hand like, please shut your cake hole. Do not say something really stupid, man. Do not say nothing. In fact, just be quiet. Don't.
Things about working on this project was that through the language and the development of these characters, you realize that bad and good is in the eyes of the beholder.
I'm in trouble for this question.
Can you tease specifically how Yord personally must reckon with that particular idea?
Ooh, it's hard to not, because into the episodes, there's so much we can't give away. Yord is invested and committed to the Council. He's committed to this Jedi Force leading the people, leading the universe into a positive light. And I think he truly believes the good that is grounded in that. Though, life is way more complicated. And I think of the times, as kids...
Alright. I'm just gonna say this. You don't... Alright, bro. No. Yes and no. Life is much more complicated, but this is a Star Wars movie. It's like saying Lord of the Rings is complex morality when it's not. It's very simple good versus evil sort of thing. And I know we have a tendency to do that, especially after Game of Thrones, and Game of Thrones showed us the complexity of human life, but sometimes things are just simple. Sometimes the idea is just a simple good and evil sort of scenario. And that works. That works way better than most people, because people love escapism. People love to boo the bad guy and cheer the good guy.
Kids, when you realize your parents aren't gods, you know what I mean? That moment when the kind of shatter comes and everybody becomes just human. You have a little bit more empathy. It also creates this kind of like, I feel like I've been lied to or manipulated in some ways. I think that's some of the experiences that Yord is terrified by and may come to experience, but I can't really talk about things. But yes, I did get in trouble for this answer at Star Wars Con. I got heat.
Yeah.
And in my mind, it's so funny because it literally, as a person who's outside and just a fan coming in, that was what was so beautiful and interesting to me.
Yeah.
People have been talking to me online about how Darth Vader is such a bad person. It's very clear, and it's very well established from those actions. But if you can't look and see that Anakin blowing up the Death Star, possibly...
Whoa! Here we go! Off to the races. I don't think we need to watch any more after this. Like, that's a beautiful moment here for me. And the reason why it's a beautiful moment here for me is because it's so vindicating to know that they just don't care. So it's giving me the permission slip I need to just not watch this. Because it's not Star Wars. It's not. What you guys have done is not Star Wars. I'm sorry, it's not. I know you want it to be Star Wars, but it's not. And I get it. Some of the new fans, they like Reylo. They like the whole thing that they're doing with the Force. They like the Luke Skywalker having a crisis of faith and stuff like that. But what you have to realize is that a lot of people love the lore. They love Luke Skywalker the way he was before. They loved the past. They loved everything. And what you've just done is just thrown all that into the dumpster. And it's not the actor, okay? This is 100% not the actor's fault. This is Disney's fault. They set up the culture to be like this. They set up the entire. How do I put this? The entire franchise to be this going forward. That being said, I can't parse out what I want to say about Star Wars right now, because I want to say I love the old movies, and I might try and stick around for the new stuff, but I think that ship has sailed like a decade ago. Like about a decade ago. Like, wow. That's how old oh my god, the sequel trilogy. I don't think that's aged as well as people thought it would age at the time. Force Awakens, people loved Force Awakens, but that was before The Last Jedi. That was before The Rise of Skywalker. It got progressively worse after The Force Awakens. Like, people had problems with Force Awakens. You know what? Looking back at it, you were right. It was a lot of nostalgia bait. It was a lot of, like, let's just do a bigger Star Wars with more stuff and bips and bobs, boo boo boo. And you know what? Thinking about it, old Star Wars was very risk taking, and sequel Star Wars, it feels, or should I say, Disney Star Wars feels very safe to me. It feels very, we don't want to step on anybody's toes. We don't want to upset anybody. It feels very, very safe. It feels very predictable. It feels very paint by the numbers. It feels very dismissive. It doesn't feel dangerous to me. Old Star Wars felt dangerous, especially in the time it came up in. Like, I'll do a video talking about it, but yeah, don't get mad at this guy, though. Let's get off the tangent. Let's not get mad at this guy, because he's just the product of the entire situation. He just does not care, and why should he care?
We killed millions and millions of people. I'm going to get in trouble for saying this right now.
Yeah, you are.
You should just shut up.
It's just like,
I love
Yes, queen, yes.
But that is the beauty of this story, and it's the beauty
She's
of like
smiling.
Life, that it's you.
It is nuanced.
It's not about not holding people to the fire when they do make the wrong decisions or when they are bad, but recognizing why they led to the places that they led is important. I think it's why Lucas wrote it. I'm sorry.
It's why I've kind of stopped using the word villain, because I feel like people look at a villain as like a surface level, like bad person, whereas if I say antagonist, at least that implies depth and that we'll get some justifications for why they've done what they've done.
Now, I'm not all artsy-fartsy, but I do know complex character analysis and depth. Like, that's important for a story, because the important thing to realize is no bad guy sees themselves as a bad guy. That's the point. Like, that's what makes them interesting. Their point of view makes sense from their perspective. Okay? But in another framework, there is such a thing as someone being outside the norm, or someone being so radically different that they're considered the bad guy. Like, if you don't believe me, pick up a history book and just start reading through all the terrible things people have done over the centuries, and you'll start parceling out, yeah, this guy's the bad guy. Yeah, this guy's the bad guy. And this guy's kind of the good guy. I'm just going to say World War II. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to say nothing else, because I might get in trouble for it. Because, this is YouTube.
Yes, which is honestly, in the end, it's better for understanding and not trying to be best friends. We're not trying to take everybody in, but knowing where you have your protections and your boundaries.
That is, what? Oh, let's rewrite it.
Look at a villain as like a surface level, like bad person, whereas if I say antagonist, at least that implies depth, and then we'll get some justifications for why they've done what they've done.
Yes, which is honestly, in the end, it's better for understanding and not trying to be best friends. We're not trying to take everybody in, but knowing where you have your protections and your boundaries.
I love how I'm following up that really thought.
What did that even mean? What did that even mean? Protection. What? That meant nothing. He just said nothing. He just sat there and said nothing to me. He just, to her, like, what? What is this? Someone tell me what this is.
I'll answer with this particular question, but I always wonder about this. Did Leslie ever tell you why his lightsaber is orange?
Oh, I mean, I did my own research.
Okay.
No.
Oh, did you now? Do tell us about your research, good sir.
And you would call me out about this today. I was super excited to have green. I mean, just because, the connections to all of those characters. And when they were like, well, actually, we're going to...
Name one. Name one. You know what? If you were getting a job at Walmart and you just didn't care, or you were just trying to bluff your way through it, I wouldn't say 2 words to you. I'd say, you know what? Good on you, man. Keep lying till you make it big. But this is a multi-million-dollar movie you're working on. Maybe even in the billions. Not movie, but show. People have multi-million contracts. With probably not with you, but with other people on here. Like, you're probably making at least a few $100,000. This is a lot of money on the table here. And you're treating it like it's a job at Walmart. And you're treating it like a job at McDonald's. Like a job that is by far and away 1,000 of them. And you can just walk in and say, hey, I want a job. Like, okay, sure. And they'll hire you. Like, you're treating it like that.
Switch you out and give you yellow, a teardrop, and then I did my research and looked in, and I also realized, like, wait, Rey has a yellow, and she's pretty good.
You said research twice.
Wait, Rey has a yellow, and she's pretty good. That's dope. But
all right, guys, that's it. I want to say something funny now, but this entire interview was a joke. And not a funny joke either. Like, I could watch the other people, I could watch the rest of the video, but dude, you don't really need to see that. We were just here to talk about this guy, and we talked about him, and that's about it. Thank you so much for stopping by. I truly enjoyed having you here watching this video. Catch you in the next one. Hopefully it won't take me forever. Alright guys, take care.